everybody, and it's weird to say, but Ink Panels is back for one night only, and I could not bring it back without my co-founder of the show, Gambit.
Hello. Hi.
What better time to bring something back from the dead but in October?
Right? It's perfect. It's perfect.
So like it's been 2.5 years since we last did this.
Wow, 2.5 years. It's been wow.
We created this almost 5 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Yes, it has. Like it's
have it been in Florida that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
here we are.
We are together for a special reason tonight. Probably everybody who's seen on Instagram knows why, but we'll go ahead and introduce some of our guests first.
Yes.
Our constant friend of the show, always coming on. We have John's Comics with Kids, which I caught in middle drink.
I thought for sure it'd be somebody else, but okay, hey.
Perfect timing.
There's a lot bigger stars coming on here in a couple seconds here. I'm just going to say.
But this is one of those ones when we get to why we're back, it made sense for John to come on. We're doing this for a good reason tonight, and no better reason to have all our friends together to support one of our friends. But we'll bring on your frenemy next.
Your frenemy next?
We went to Gotham. We found him riding around with the neon bikers of Gotham. We've got Greg, BeardedComicBro.
Hey! Hear me out, gang. Hear me out.
Stan of Batman and Robin and Batman Forever.
That's right. That is right. Someone's got to be.
And carrying on our next guest, who has not been on here since the infamous drinking Christmas episode, we have that comic girl Mars.
Howdy, friends.
Hey.
I'm back.
We need the Mr. Potter theme song right now.
The merch is everywhere.
She's queen of the YouTube tonight, folks. Be ready.
Sweet.
So the reason why we are all together is to celebrate and do awareness for our friend Jennifer. Comic books will break your heart and ours right now. As you may know, she's in a fight. It's the kind of fight that's financially and physically draining. And we're trying to raise awareness. And also, if we can get donations for her GoFundMe, the link is in the description, and I'll be dropping it throughout the night in the chat. She could use our help. John's the moderator. He'll be dropping as well. So we thought, what better way than to have a show talking about one of Jennifer's favorite books, favorite characters, and also some of her favorite people and ex-co-hosts. So
there really have been multiple co-hosts of Jennifer on here.
There really has been.
True.
Except for John. I think John's the only one.
Is this like the Scott Pilgrim, but instead it's Jen,
Evil.
ex-evil co-host?
Evil co-host.
I love that.
John, if you ever want to be a co-host with Jen, you got to defeat all her other evil ex-co-hosts.
Pass. I wouldn't get past. Although I get a free slap on Bearded, I wouldn't get past Bearded.
Oh, not in fighting, like in wits of YouTube comic knowledge or something. I don't know.
Also failing.
So tonight we'll be discussing Batwoman Elegy, as you'll see everywhere in here.
Do we lose Gambit?
We might have. He might have had both of his things going at the same time. But
I
this...
love how everybody has different cover. Well,
they put out like 4 different versions.
Single issues, but we all have.
Listen, some of us got to keep the floppies alive, okay? John's keeping the whole industry of Batwoman Elegy alive.
Well, John went out and bought everything. First appearance slab.
I got everything. I've even got the Lego right here.
Oh, wow, you went all out.
There she is.
So cool origin to Batwoman is that after Infinite Crisis, all the heroes kind of went their own way, and we got 52, which I thought was doomed to failure, putting out an issue 52 weeks. I was like, I don't know if this is going to work, because I've seen DC in action. Somehow they made every week it came out on time. And was it issue 8? Well, further is when we had Batwoman finally appear.
Of New 52?
Yeah.
John,
eight?
let us know.
It was
Right
the
there.
issue before that. Booster Gold is on the cover.
Yeah, this is the first full appearance.
First full. Okay.
Oh,
11.
nice.
11.
Oh,
Okay.
it was issue number 10 then, right?
I mean, I'm not sure because it skipped around a little.
Yeah.
But it was one of those characters that I was like, okay, this might be a throwaway character, but I ended up loving this after the heroes went away because we had Renee Montoya become the Question,
Yes.
and we found out this history of her and Kate Kane, had this big crime mystery. They made Black Adam interesting with his Black Adam family.
Yes.
There was a lot of good stuff in this, and of course, Batwoman pretty much transcended it, in my opinion.
She stole
and
the
then
show.
Detective Comics, she ended up getting her own run on it. Oh, definitely. Renee's Question, I love that whole journey of her becoming the Question. I was a huge Gotham Central fan, so I was definitely into the Renee Montoya journey to being the Question. And that Lois Lane series that Greg Rucka did with Mike Perkins was awesome with Renee Montoya and all of them. I loved it.
Check that out.
Greg Rucka just kills it on these.
Yeah, I was
One
going
of
to
my-
say, has Greg Rucka ever written something bad?
He wrote one of my favorite Batman stories, but didn't feature Batman. It was Talia al Ghul and her sister that she didn't know she had, Nisa. It was called Death and the Maidens. Loved it.
Oh, wow.
That was a good one.
So good. But so Batwoman comes out and Greg Rucka gets J.H. Williams III, who, for art nerds like me who read Promethea and Seven Soldiers of Victory, J.H. Williams is great, and he has this fantastic ability to break panels and not follow traditional form. And I did not look at who his inker was and colorist, but they bring the pages to life.
Dave Stewart is the colorist, and I believe J.H. Williams did his own ink.
Oh,
Yeah, because he works. He makes them in black and white. Like he does the drawings in just value studies, and then they add colors later. So that drawing is the same as this one. See how the colorist makes his black and white work look.
Dave
vibrant
Stewart did the Black Hammer inks, or colors, if I recall.
and- oh, nice.
And if you ever forget, it's right above my head on my screen.
Oh, yeah, duh.
And one of my, since we're talking about creators on this book, an unsung hero, and is honestly the creator that made me appreciate lettering. Todd Klein doing letterings. While we don't see it as much in Elegy, we do see it because not this entire creative team, but J.H. Williams, Dave Stewart, and Todd Klein carry over into the New 52 era of Kate Kane.
Hydrology.
With hydrology, and it's in there that we get some of the most beautiful examples of lettering that I have ever possibly seen on a book.
It's funny because you see Clayton Cowles. He's usually the same 3 letterists around. And Todd Klein's one that I didn't really have on my radar, actually, because I get so distracted by the art in this that the lettering I don't pay attention to.
Yeah.
He's old school, and if I'm not mistaken, Todd Klein did a lot of work on Sandman, which is why
Yes, I think so.
a lot of Elegy and a lot of hydrology feels very Sandman-esque.
So I want to start off with John, since he is a Batwoman virgin to this book.
Yeah, John, how does it feel to be graced by one of the best characters in comics for the first time?
I mean, it was fantastic. I told you before when we were talking backstage, I bought this omnibus because of Jen. She had been talking about it a bunch, and I was like, I got to pick this up. And then it's been sitting there waiting to be read. And then this opportunity came along, and I was like, oh, I'm going to read this. And I read it, of course, in a sitting. I read the whole detective storyline. The next day, I was going comic hunting with Ruben Guzman, White Tiger, Comic Cool Collective. And every shop we went in, I was like, let's see if they've got any of these detective issues. And before I knew it, I pretty much had the whole run. I also bought this 9/8 of her first appearance. And my LCS, they had her action figure, and
Oh,
I
I
was like, okay,
love
I'm
that
just buying.
figure.
I'm
Man,
just
that's
getting
right.
everything at this point.
You just went full stand mode. Like
He did. He really
absolutely
did.
I absolutely did.
John became obsessed with a character the way that I become obsessed with a character when I first meet them, where I have to buy everything, all the covers, all the figures, the first appearance.
And this guy's sending me links to the original artwork, and I'm like, come on, man. Like, I don't
Stop
know how
it.
far I can
All
go with
right,
this.
like guilty, but still.
He's
so,
like, "You're
John,
missing that."
you had never read this before.
I never had. And I teased Mars that like I got burnt on New 52. I'm not a Snyder Capullo guy, and I didn't care for the Batman stuff after Court of Owls. It just really tanked for me. And most of what I had read during the New 52, I didn't care for. So I'd only bits and pieces. Like I knew the Renee Montoya question stuff, and I liked what that became later. But that was pretty much the only element I ever really like dug coming out of that. So this was obscure for me, and she wasn't like, it wasn't like she was always showing up in Batman and Detective Comics that I was reading now. So for me, it was like I'd heard of her, but I don't know anything.
So this was one of Detective was coming out, but like it was one of those books I was buying, but I wasn't reading because I was obsessively just buying stuff, and I had so many new books coming out that like it got buried, and finally like I had the flu and I sat down and I read all of it in one sitting, and I was like, well, fuck. But Rucka's one of those guys, and damn it, like he has someone in his life that has gone through this, because he just is so in touch emotionally with the character, what they're going through. So my feeling is there's someone in his family, or he has a friend that has gone through coming out and all these things, because there's just so much rawness to it that I don't think someone wouldn't have knowledge of.
I could definitely see that. I know that he does credit an individual in one of the later issues, which is part of her origin story. And I believe that individual, I'm trying to find the name of them because he does give credit and thanks. That individual helped him with a lot of the military aspect of things. So it very well could have been like a nod at that special person that you speak of. And I think that's an interesting thing to talk about, is because when this book came out, things were very different than they are now.
100%.
So when this book came out, it was at the peak of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, where, for those of you that don't know, it was a military thing where the military basically said you can be queer, but we don't want to know about it, and if we do know about it, we're going to ask you to leave. So it was basically don't be gay. And Batwoman was one of those characters where she embraced her sexuality and she refused to lie about herself. And that's one of the big things between her and her father is
that was a great scene.
When she comes home after being discharged from the military academy,
Separated.
He asks, well, did you lie? And she's like, no. And then he's like, well, I'm proud of you because you stayed true to yourself.
Yeah, that scene with them, and he was just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're good. Yeah. Greg, what's your history with this book?
Well, I know again I gave John a little grief about not ever reading this. I read it for the first time last night.
Oh.
And so I just, because I'm so late to the party, I didn't have time to go out and do all the shopping that John did, but I'm kind of on board of being a stand for Kate. Like, it's so good. It's so good. I will say, I was familiar with the story or roundabout parts of the story because I did watch the first season of Batwoman on the CW or whatever channel that was on.
Yeah.
And it follows along the storyline that first
tried.
I got the footnotes. I got the Cliff Notes version of it. Like, I understood who she was as a character. Like, so some of those moments weren't surprises to me because I was aware and, of her villain and the origin story and a little bit like that. So, I was like, oh, and then well, let's be honest, as I'm reading, I'm going, the book is so much better.
Oh, 100%.
The book's
But-
always better.
But when is it not? Yes, when is it not better? So
yeah.
this was this was honestly 2009. So this came out when I was not reading comic books at the time. So I've been backtracking still through this era of all these things I've missed. And as much of a fan of Batman stuff I am, like, I don't love the side characters of Batman because I'm like, just give me Batman. And so I never wanted.
It's okay to be wrong, Greg.
I am wrong. I am wrong here. So I didn't want to go into like a Batwoman, like, because I'm like, okay, we got Batgirl, now we got Batwoman. Like, I just, I didn't know the complexity of the character, so I was just like, oh, it's another cash grab. And then reading this story, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's so good, it's so powerful. So I was wrong. I'll admit the errors of my ways. But I was very happy that I got to check this out. So.
I think my favorite thing in 52 when they introduced her, Nightwing is trying to throw dick at her so bad, and she's just like, listen, get out of here.
No, thank you.
And she's just like, whatever. And he's like, I'm Dick Grayson. Like, what are you doing?
He's like, I've never had a woman reject me before.
Literally, no.
Well, I mean, you see those swimsuit covers that they do. I mean, let's be honest. Like, I get it.
You need to put that Perez disco outfit on.
Right.
That would have gotten her.
It's like, I'm Nightwing. Have you seen my butt? Look at it. And she was like, don't care, bro.
And then Kate just looks at him and goes, I'm a boob person myself.
And then she's like, oh, it's you, Renee. Ugh. Still drunk. But I do love the morphing of her from a party girl into like basically dealing with her trauma through drinking, and then her dad going like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, come on. Her dad is so super supportive. I don't think I'd be that chill.
I like that her dad is super supportive, like from the moment she comes out, the moment that he discovers that, like, oh, you're doing this, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it this way, we're gonna do it the right way. And no questions asked. It's like, are you gonna do this? He says, no, you're gonna stop doing this. And she said, no, this is it. This is my calling. This is what I'm going to do. And he goes like, okay, fine. So we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it right. If we're gonna do this, we do it the right way. And it's refreshing to have to read a father figure like that he's ride or die with her. Mm-hmm. She says, I'm going to do this, and he's like, shit, this is not what I wanted, but let's do it.
She called my bluff, damn it.
But Gambit, even to talk like that, those are highlights that I think that shine on Greg Rucka as a writer and a storyteller, because those two moments that you talked about, one, Dan, you talked about of, her struggle with drinking and going through, and then when her dad took care of those situations in like 2 pages each. They're like, and he's like, oh, cool, we're going to train you for 2 years, 3 years. And it was just a splash page where it's like, cool. And we didn't need more of that. We didn't need to spend a whole arc with that story. And so like, that was just such a well-crafted, it's concise. It told the story, and sure, you can go into it later, but initially I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I even texted Dan last night. I was like, it's only 7 issues.
Yeah.
Only. I just want to make sure. Like,
yeah, I read this book in one sitting. I haven't. So I've had trouble reading for the past 2 years. I haven't been able to have the attention to read a single issue in a sitting. I start reading an issue, and it takes me 3 days to read 22 pages, which is ridiculous.
Same.
But these past few weeks, I've been trying to, get back into the habit of reading, and I picked this up. I've had this book in storage for almost, I don't know, like 3 years, and I was cleaning and getting my stuff out of storage and put it out. And he says, "Hey, you want to do this with this book?" He said, "I think I have that book," and I pick it up. He said, "Yeah, I have it. Here it is. Let's do it." And I read it today. I read it today, and I read this thing in one sitting from start to finish. Like, oh my God, I haven't been able to read a single issue for a long time, and now I sat today and I read these 7 issues in one sitting. I got like, oh man, I have forgotten how much I enjoy reading a comic book until today. So
was it the art or the writing that brought you in, or was it both?
yes,
Good answer.
yes. I mean, Williams' art it's mind bending. For me, my first time seeing his work was the New 52 Batwoman, because I had not read this trade until today. This is my first time reading this, but I was familiar with the character because of the 52 issue and the New 52 series that came out. But this I had not read, so I was looking forward to check this out because I knew I was going to enjoy these pages a lot. And yeah, these pages were, while I was reading it, I was at the studio. There was the apprentice and the other artist.
It's a gorgeous book.
That the first page when the book starts, that first page where
really, and I really love with Elegy specifically. We don't see it, I don't think, as much with the New 52, but you have this switch of style between when she's just Kate and when she's Batwoman. And it's honestly, even to this day, 10 years later, 15, actually, it might be more like 15 years later at this point, there is still no book like this on the market. And it really just changed everything going forward.
There aren't artists who ape his style at all, which is wild because I don't think they can do the way he does panels because he doesn't work with panels. He doesn't. He ignores everything. He doesn't approach illustrations in comics like a comic. He does it more like it's a fairy tale book.
Yes, it has a very. You mentioned it earlier. That we were talking about the lettering and saying how you got all caught up with the art that you kind of lost the lettering. I think that the lettering complements the artwork and the artwork complements the lettering so much that you get that it's all part of it. You didn't get lost in it didn't get lost on you that the lettering was there, because otherwise you wouldn't read it. You wouldn't be able to read it if that lettering gets lost. You'll be just looking at pictures. And although his storytelling it's top notch and you can follow this without having to read the words, the lettering complements the artwork so much, so good that it's all one piece of cohesive thing. You know that everything, like what you're reading, the lettering that you're reading, the artwork that you're seeing, the color, everything makes this book like perfection in my book.
My wife got her degree in graphic design, and I felt like a lot of the Batwoman pages were not as interested in traditional panel to panel storytelling, but in a graphic design style. Like it was just this amazing like design page, and then story fit in those negative spaces, right into those little places here and there. And I think that's just absolutely for me as a comic fan, an original way to approach the story or to approach a character. And I think it illuminated a lot about her in a way that I had never seen before.
It flows so well. And what's interesting is like, this is, if it's not done well, this would be the most confusing book ever. 100%. Like if you're trying to, and that's why I don't think people try to ape the style very often. I mean, you know, just looking at this, you go from 3 panels, you know, then this layout, and then you jump into like 4 panels, you know, and then like the next page it's 6 panels, and then the next page it goes in. It's just breaking all the boundaries of what
every rule in comics.
There's just like, and there's no like, okay, I'm doing this now. It's just like, what does the story need? And Williams kills it.
There is a particular run of pages in this that I felt were some of the best, and it was here it is. The transformation scene.
I do love
Abbott into try and follow what's going on. And one of my favorite little panels he did was with Mad Alice, where they show in her mouth the razor about to pop out. From the inside of her mouth. But it was so effective because I've never seen a panel where you're looking from the throat up into someone's teeth. Like,
that was definitely just such the first time I had seen that. One of my favorite moments.
And the Lady of the Hour Hello, Jen.
Hey, hello.
Everybody's
You
wearing
know-
your shirts.
You know what I like? One of the things that I like about this book is how people were terrified of her. Like, saying, like, oh no, it's you. It's like at to a certain extent, people were like more terrified of her coming, that realizing that it was her that was basically going to kick their asses instead of being Batman or one of the others. And I thought that was really a really nice touch. Gave her like in the introduction to the book, they say that like, yeah, this is Batwoman, and it's under Batman rule, but it's also she's doing her own thing. She's being herself. Her you know, when you see her, you know that okay, this is a whole different. When they see her, it's like okay, this is a whole different thing. And I like that sort of more scary in the eyes of some of these people than Batman is, which is supposed to be all all the way around. That he's supposed to be the big scary one, and everybody else is like okay, just following his footsteps. And in this case, she's the one that it's putting fear into these people's hearts and minds. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by the drawing I'm doing.
I love how dismissive she is of Batman, where he's like, "Hey, why don't you do something about that wig?"
right.
Well, isn't that's at the very beginning of this, right? Where he
Pretty much like, yeah, it's about a quarter of the way in, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Like this just shows you the stupidity of myself. I was like, I don't know if I had saw Kate yet with the short hair, but like then the very next panel I saw her, I was like, oh, she listened to Batman. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Like she got her hair real short, and then like the next panel it shows like the cowl with the wig. I was like, oh, all right, you're an idiot, but cool.
Well,
all right.
Well, Jen's in the chat. Jen, is there a favorite page or part of this book that you have? Feel free to share. You are the woman of the hour. And while we're taking a little short break, just wanted to let everybody be aware. And if you see the link, please share to help raise awareness and some money for Jen. We are trying our best. Please go ahead, share it. If you can't give, if you give $1, that's still something. We appreciate it. Jen appreciates it. She means a ton to us.
Yeah. And
Literally a pillar of this community.
If you can't, and if you can't donate, it's okay. But please share it, and put it on your wall, put it on your story somewhere that people see it and help out.
Oh boy, this is. We should have just done a telethon.
Right.
Get the suit jackets. Hey, everybody! Here's the comedy stylings of Rod the Rican, Perry and Friends. So I love the way they did the flashbacks. How like it was like 4 pages, 20 years ago. 7 years ago, and it gives you a timeline of her from being a kid to becoming Batwoman.
Yeah,
and
even on the covers, right?
Yeah.
Yep. I thought that was brilliant the way they did it, because they didn't spend a whole lot of time. I'd say the most amount of time they spent was her in West Point.
I would say so, yeah.
Yep.
And I think that was probably in the most important stuff. I mean, the relationship with her dad was pretty important, especially when he like walks in and she's coming out of the shower. He goes, "Think about tear gas. It just gets everywhere. You can just keep smelling it." And in my head, I just pictured Robert Duvall from Apocalypse Now being her dad.
That'd be fitting.
Right?
Love the smell of tear gas in the morning. It smells like victory. Mars, so what was your first experiences with the book, like when you first found it?
Oh my god, I don't even. It's been so long. I'm not trying to be smart, because there are 2 people here who will not be named who had never read Batwoman up until this week. But so she was honestly one of the. Hear me out. She is. Thank you for throwing me my line. I appreciate that. I love that. So if I forget my line, it's there for me. It's like a human teleprompter. But hear me out. Batwoman was one of the first characters that really got me into comics. You know, a lot of my like journey into it was picking dollar bins of really hot women that I thought looked really cool. And she was one of them. And I, you know, picked this up because why not? I was told that it was her origin story, so I read it and I became obsessed. Like obsessed, because not only, I mean, it's been known I'm not the biggest fan of Batman. I love the Batman universe. I love the Bat family, but the man himself, I kind of hate. Sorry, not sorry. He can
It's okay to be wrong.
Sorry, not sorry. He can get punched. But Batwoman felt like everything I wanted out of a character, and on top of that, her being queer, was really important as a little queer kid at the time. And I actually kind of came out to my mom using this book, by telling her that I was bisexual and just having her read the, you know, I couldn't say the words, so I just kind of threw my mom the book and was like, just read that panel right there. What does that say? And she's like, it says I'm gay. And I was like, yeah, that's me. By the way, bye. But so this book, it means everything to me. Not only that, but this was to be a little emotional, not that I'm not already. This was the first book that I ever did a show with Jen with, because I was rereading Batwoman because I've read this book literally a million times. And she saw me reading it and was like, hey, why don't we just hop on the little YouTube machine and talk about how much we love this book? And we did. And it's what brought us together. And yeah, Batwoman means so many things to me on so many different layers. She's like an onion.
Hot take, going off your Batman thing, but to be honest, Damian and Dick, when they were Batman and Robin, were my favorite Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
I do like them.
They were fun because all of a sudden you had Robin being dark.
Greg left in anger. He left.
Robin was the dark, brooding one, and then you had, you know, happy-go-lucky Batman.
Yeah, it was kind of, it was a nice. I mean, it's always nice to change things up.
You count on Grant Morrison to shake things up a little.
You can. Dick Grayson's fine, but let's leave Damian out of this, okay? Like
it was a fun run because it was like the dichotomy of them, and then things went back to normal. I actually liked the run with Dick as Batman, where his relationship with Selina, where Selina's like, "Oh, hey, toy wonder," still, even though he's Batman messing with him. I really
she has no respect for him at all.
No one, nor for him. He had none for her because he's like, oh, you're just that chick who keeps popping up in Batman's life and fucking up his head. And she's like, let me get back to you on that for a minute because I don't know if you've talked to him in a while.
That being said, I will never forgive Grant Morrison for ruining Jason Todd. I mean, maybe not ruining, but you know, first of all, why is Jason Todd a redhead? What the fuck's going on? Second of all, why are you causing even more trauma to the boy by saying that Bruce Wayne forced him to dye his hair so he looks like Dick Grayson? What happened to you? Do we need to have a therapy session? Because it sounds like you're unleashing some inner trauma.
Probably is.
You know, I missed that. I did not know that small detail. Huh.
Well, yeah. During his run, he also made Batman an internet troll where he was getting on forums saying, hey, do you think Batman's Bruce Wayne? And he had all these different like logins starting all this like conspiracy theory shit online.
Now that's very Jason Todd energy. But
no, that was Bruce Wayne doing it.
Oh yeah, that was Bruce Wayne. But the redheaded literally the redheaded stepchild. No, thank you.
So further on in the Greg Rucka and J.H. Williams third run, they had a moment of I respected them for putting their foot down because they were going to have Maggie Sawyer and her get married. And they're like, nope, not happening. Can't do it. We're killing that story.
Can I please give a story time on that? Can I please story time? So I was at Baltimore Comic-Con the year that announcement happened, where they said Batwoman would not be married to Maggie Sawyer. And I happened to be blessed with sitting in a room with Dan Didio doing the DC Comics announcements because for years, for some reason, they always did their big DC comic announcements at Baltimore. And this was his first public appearance after DC Comics had made the announcement. So he was kind of trying to like tamper down damage control. That's a very good word for it. He was very much trying to do damage control. And I'll never forget that he said to a room full of people, the reason why we can't let Batwoman and Maggie Siller get married is because people in Gotham are not allowed to be happy. And then fast forward 4 years later, Selena Kyle and Bruce Wayne are getting married. Now, granted, it didn't really happen, but it's the idea that you're saying people in Gotham can't be happy when we've clearly seen examples of that not being the case. And to put the icing on the cake, there was a literal Batwoman cosplayer who stood up in the back of the room, dressed as Batwoman, wearing a wedding dress, saying, "What do you mean I can't be happy?" And Dan Didio was silent for the rest of the panel.
Yeah, in unison, the team walked off the book when they killed their story completely, and I respect that because they had a vision for this book and were told nope, and then they had already known that they were going to get Batman and Selena together. It was already in the works even back then, and we're like, yep, I'm out. Yeah. And both of them walked off the book instantaneously.
And it was only J.H. Williams that walked. Well, it was J.H. Williams and Todd Klein. Well, no, Rucka wasn't.
Rucka did 3 more issues at least because he did them with Jock afterwards.
Yeah, Rucka wasn't on. So this was during the New 52 era, and I think that's actually a really interesting thing to talk about is Kate's era of the New 52, because the New 52 was a reboot for a lot of characters. Batwoman was one of the sole runs. There might have been a couple here and there, but was one of the main runs that actually carried the story from Elegy over into the New 52. And that was because J.H. Williams, who did both the writing and the art at the time, had such a passion for the character. And he basically, if you read the 2 books side by side, it's hard to tell that Rucka's not on the book anymore, because I think these 2 men had such a love for this character and understood the character in the same wavelength that it kind of connected seamlessly. But then, yeah, Dan, you're correct. J.H. Williams learned what they wanted, their intentions with Kate Kane, or rather their disintentions with her. And so he had to walk off the book because he respected the character too much.
And I actually respect the fact that the creators were just like,
oh, 100%.
I'm done. Yeah. Oh, hold on. We have someone in the stage. Hold on. We have Tessa. Oh, caught her mid-bite again.
Mid-bite. I was back there for a minute, so I was trying to refuel.
Oh, sorry.
Hello. I'm actually just here for Mars. Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
It's all right. Why do you think we're here? It's not John.
I was going to say it's not bearded, so very similar humor. Good job.
I mean, listen.
Listen, they were Xing each other out on pictures.
Oh, it's like X-Men 141, but we're just crossing out like all the people in the community.
Well, John left me out of the group chat. He's like, I'm noticing everything on everyone. So then when Dan posted the next day, I reposted it with just a big X on John's name.
There you go. It's fair.
I'm going to get one of my favorite John and Dan moments. John explains what he watched. We might get there. You never know.
There you go.
So, Tessa, we were just talking about J.H. Williams III and Greg Rucka walking off Batwoman after they nixed the marriage.
Ugh, fair. I have that, the proposal issue is like one of my big favorites. I got that one. That was one I like hunted for.
Such a good issue.
Right? And such a gorgeous cover. Oh, they're so good. J.H. Williams is amazing. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I accidentally started calling someone.
Oh, whoops. So, what's your history with the character?
Me?
Yeah, you. You're new.
Oh, okay. This was actually like one of my earlier comics that I read. So first off, love me a hot redhead. Poison Ivy's my favorite character. Hot redhead swoon. But yeah, this was like one of my first like actual like full on graphic novels, like story arc reads. And unfortunately, like when I was an early comic reader, like I didn't have a lot of money. Like I was like a teenager and stuff. So like beforehand, I was grabbing a lot of stuff out of dollar bins or like antique stores and stuff. And so often like someone who is queer. Hi, Bumpkins. I am. But you know, I'll come out of the woodwork for Mars. That's fine. But yeah, like
For Jen.
I guess Jen's fine. But yeah, a lot of like whenever there was like a minority character, like I was talking about it on a show a few minutes ago, actually. There's a lot of times I feel like, especially the big two, they use minority characters to show that they're not racist or homophobic, right? They do like here it's gay month, here's all of our gay characters and our gay creators.
And Kate Kane is a double whammy because not only is she a lesbian, but she's also Jewish.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's just like, this was the first time that I was really consuming a character where it was like, they're getting a full-blown story arc. They're not a side character just to like check a box. And it was just like very eye-opening for me of actually getting to like, it's not fetishy. It's just like a woman who likes women, like, you know, and a lot of times, especially unfortunately, sometimes comics are just a little like using women as like some kind of fetish or sexual object. And this was just one where it was just very genuinely like, no, she's just like a human. And like the intro of her leaving the military for that was like, I was immediately sold. I was so in love with this. I haven't read this book in a long time though. I wanted to reread it before the show, but I didn't get a chance.
It's funny that you talked about the big two using like this, you know, the minority characters is kind of like, look, we're cool. Because Dwayne McDuffie had talked about in one of his documentaries about him that he went to meet with Marvel and they wanted him to do a new hit African-American character. And he goes, let me guess, Negro with a skateboard. And they were like, what? And he goes, yeah, I'm out. And just walked out.
Well, yeah, like it's something I was talking about where like, so recently they had a bunch of like an influx of really cool Asian characters at DC because they had those runs that started at the same time. They had like Spirit World and City Boy and all that stuff.
All
and
new Superman and
Yeah.
They're so cool. And now they only bring them out for like Asian Heritage Month. And like, okay, well, I really like these characters. I would like more of them all the time rather than just, oh, look, you know, we got to bring out, you know, the Green Arrow family when it's just that, you know, just, I hate it.
It's like the other Flash character they introduced.
the non-binary one for Future State.
Yeah. And like all of a sudden they were like disappeared them.
Mm-hmm.
Like totally disappeared them. And it was
I feel like they disappeared a lot of stuff from Future State.
True.
So we're gonna take a minute and show what Gambit's drawing.
Ooh. This is so cool.
Thank you.
So he's been doing this live while we're going.
We should be auctioning off pieces or something.
Right?
We can do a thing that if they donate money and put ink panels in the comment, we can raffle off a piece.
Let's do that. I'll
Hear
make
me
this
out.
into I'll finish this.
$1,000 and Mars will finally read Hotspot.
Pick a price point though. You know, what's the minimum? What's the amount to get on the wheel?
I feel like $5.
Hey, Mars, what was that? $1,000 to what now?
10?
to read Hoxpox.
To win Gambit's art, $10 to win Gambit's art.
Well, just if you get enough people.
Each.
It's an entry.
No, $10 each.
Yeah.
Entry, yeah.
Yeah. And I'll
Read Hoxpox with John.
I'll finish this. I'll turn it into a nice print, and I'll send it to the winner at the end. I don't know when. Okay, so we have to figure out whoever makes a donation and puts their name, and we put them on a list. And then when are we going to?
We'll do a randomizer with their names.
Okay, exactly. And when will we do that? At the end of the show or during this week?
We'll give some time for people to watch it on the replay.
Okay.
So let's say by next Friday.
By next Friday?
Give them a little time.
Ooh,
Give you time to
yeah,
finish this too.
promote that. That's it.
Yeah, because we can promote it also on Insta.
On Insta, on the IGs. Dan with his hip words.
Right.
Can't
Listen,
relate.
I went home tired from work and made a video for you, saying some rather offensive things.
Yeah, Dan sent me a really weird video today. I kind of about coming on the show. It was really weird.
I mean, it's Dan.
If it's what I'm thinking about, I'm glad because I saw that story and I'm like, I don't know if this would be good for me.
Oh, I got the worst one out of all of them.
No. There are worse ones I didn't show you because I'm not showing a lot of stuff. Yeah. Dude, my folder is like 60 some so far, and I only just grabbed a few screenshots.
Oh, okay, because you were like, I don't think everybody's kind of ashamed of this one, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
I gave like a few people 3 options, and that one just kept floating around. So you said any.
Yeah. Oh no, I had no shame. Like I was gonna do a
Maybe
whole
you should have had
dramatic.
a little shame.
I was gonna do a whole dramatic reading and like do the voices, like Donald Pleasance. I feel like doing Dr. Loomis with that one would have been dynamic, or I could have tried John's boy.
Oh.
How bad was yours? Is that one I can play here?
All right, I just donated. I couldn't figure out where to write in ink Gambit, but like I did it.
It's okay.
I'm gonna let
just
you do so many
screenshot
terrible things to me.
Just screenshot that you make the donation and send it to my page, to my Instagram,
I got you, brother. Yeah, man.
Me, or send it to Dan, or just show that you made the donation, and we'll put your name on a list, and then we'll take your name out of randomly from that list, and you win a sign print, Batwoman sign print.
And there's the GoFundMe there for people to want to donate.
Sweet.
While we're talking about your art, you have a cover coming out for a book that got
solicited. Oh yes, I have a cover coming out for Granite State Punk, the Coven. It comes out in November, if I'm not mistaken, or at the end of this month. Published by Scout Comics.
Nice.
Very exciting.
And there's a Kickstarter running now, Transformers 40th anniversary card set, and I had some sketch cards that I made for that. There's a Kickstarter going on right now by Dynamite Entertainment.
Nice.
And you had the new Cthulhu book you did interior art?
Yes, and there's a Cthulhu Invades Neverland was that one's already published. That one came out like 2 months ago. And the new one, it's Cthulhu Invades Fairy Tales that I just finished 8 pages for that. That one comes out next year. Wow.
Greg's interviewed the writer quite a bit.
Yeah, I've had Travis on the show a couple times. So
yeah. I love working with Travis.
Man, busy man.
Yeah.
That's sick, dude. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So order in your local LCS.
Yes. I think you still have time to order that Granite State Punk book, which would be my first published book that's not independent, but like
still independent, but
yeah. When I say not independent, would be like not published by me or my friends. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Not first non-self-published. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, non-self-published. Yeah. It's on the previews. It's the first cover that I have that's on the previous catalog. So that's
and you've done a bunch of card sets for Dynamite in the past.
Yeah, and I've done a bunch of card sets that. So it's not the first time that I'm on the previous magazine, which is not a big deal, but for me it is. But it's the first cover that I get that it's that's there. So
FOC is on the 7th, so you should do it by Monday. Yeah, I just checked it out. It's cover B.
Look how fast she pulled that up.
Yeah, damn, girl.
Benefit of being a retailer. Yeah, just pop it right up.
Yeah,
FOC is on the 7th, in store on the 13th of November. So you theoretically can order it after FOC, but if you want to make sure.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yeah, there you go.
There it is. That one is. That's it. That's the one. That's
awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that was a fun cover
Bueller.
too.
Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Bueller.
Shout out Bueller for all the great things he's been doing for Jen. Thank you. You've done a ton, way more than I have, and it's great that she has such great friends in the community doing all these great things. I always try to think of like, if someone liked this book, what would you recommend them read that would be in the same vein? I love doing this because then it becomes.
Hear me out. More Batwoman.
More Batwoman. Yeah, most definitely.
Hi, Jen's mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, hello.
Hi, Mom. It's not.
You mentioned the Lois Lane run by Rucka. I think that's a great maxi series or whatever you want to call it.
If you want to get them on a current book, I would say the current Birds of Prey.
Ooh,
I've been having fun with that.
Oh yeah, everyone compliment me. Thank you. That run it's gorgeous though. It's Kelly Thompson.
It's a very good series.
No flops, yeah. Cassandra Cain goodness.
So I know I said more Batwoman. to which I agree, but we haven't really talked enough about it. We talked a little bit about the New 52 and hydrology, but I would also recommend anybody to read the Rebirth run as well. That was written by Marguerite Bennett. It is very, very, very queer, which is ironic considering they were doing everything to keep Maggie and Kate apart, but then Marguerite Bennett came in and was just like, screw it, I'm gonna make her kiss all the girls then. So I definitely recommend. I'm not kidding when I say read more Batwoman, because
it's like, oh, you don't want me to have her kiss one woman? Fine, she's gonna kiss all of them.
and
How about now?
Another great appearance that she's in where she is really, really gay is DC Bombshells. She is
That's
ultra
literally what I
gay
was
in that.
thinking. Margaret Bennett, yeah. I feel like with the Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad Wonder Woman run, which I'm biased, it's like my favorite Wonder Woman run, but they really are like, yeah, dude, Themyscira, obviously they're gay. It's an island full of women. Like, what? And like they can play like, yeah, what are you talking about? And so all throughout that run, and then like the runs that are connected to it, like Nubia and the Amazons, like that whole like little Themysciran arc is really is really just kind of perfect, where it's just a good story, and also, yeah, of course they're gay.
J.H. Williams III, the first book he ever did was with Alan Moore. It was called Promethea. It was his version of Wonder Woman. Fantastic. Worth picking up. It's before Alan Moore went super crazy. And J.H. Williams III, you can see him kind of feeling out his style. He's just kind of growing as an artist. So he's experimenting a ton in it. And just the art in it's fantastic. And this was the Greg Rucka book I was talking about for Batman. It's a Talia al Ghul book, mainly dealing with her sister Nisa and basically being abused by their father, Raish.
Klaus Janson on art. That's cool.
Yep.
Another book that I want to recommend that's not Batwoman, but it's still J.H. Williams. Within the past like 3 years or so, he did a independent comic over with Image called Echolands that has the same it was completely, what would you call that, like
horizontal.
It turned every which way.
Yeah, it was a horizontal format.
Great
but
artwork.
If you're looking for that same sort of fantasy, because I'll be honest, as much as I love Kate Kane, I actually try to push this into the hands of non-comic readers as well as comic readers, because I think it is such an easy book to jump into, and because it does have that sort of fantasy storytale aspect where it doesn't feel like a normal comic, but still has the elements of superheroes and Batman and Gotham. So Echolands from Image Comics.
Echoland.
To go in a very different direction, if you read Batwoman and you were like, love the hot redhead, I love the gay, it's a little too superhero and I wish it was a little more smutty, Sunstone.
Oh, Sunstone's awesome.
Well, now we're just naming books that have redheads, and I love it.
Tessa, I've never heard of this book. Keep going.
I have not either.
So there's actually going to be a third hardcover coming out for this. This is Stefan Sedgwick.
There's a Kickstarter as well, right?
I'm just looking at the store. It's already in store ordering, so I assume it's past that.
Y'all have never heard of Sunstone?
Well, you gotta think.
Mark, we just read Batwoman for the first time.
Jennifer, if you're still listening, please save me from these people.
I read it. Jen originally thought it was a scissoring fantasy.
We read great books because of this show, so you're just culturing us more now.
Don't gatekeep, Mars. We gotta
this is your job, Mars. This is your job,
tie them
Mars.
up, Madame Tiss, and tell them what to read. So these are the pretty hardcovers. There are lamer versions, and I'm really excited for the third one. So Stefan Sedgwick is incapable of drawing an unattractive person. Like, everyone he draws is hot. Like,
I love this Harley Quinn series they did too.
Yes.
Harleen, like, just everyone is hot. Hold on, I gotta make sure that I get
spicy books are right up down my alley.
So to kind of summarize Sunstone is a lesbian BDSM book, but it is the most wholesome book I have ever read, BDSM or otherwise.
It's about fetishes, but it's not fetishized. So these are two ladies who meet online, how a lot of people do nowadays. And one is lesbian and one is bi, I believe, in the beginning. And so they kind of meet in like a chat room where they're talking about, BDSM-y kind of stuff. And one is
getting
like
tied up.
Yes. And that's kind of, but it's like, see how this is like, yes, it is what's happening, but it's also very classy. It's very like not
It's very
trashy
cute.
smutty. Yeah, it's very like actually just good
They're
about
getting to
talking
know
about
each other and their
This
history
is like
and
a straight man creator.
It's a very good book.
It's so
and
cute.
his
It's so
and
good.
his wife or sister, I think, is Linda
The
Sedgwick.
swingers? Yeah.
It's Linda Sedgwick and I forget his first name, Steppen. So
yeah.
I don't know if Linda's his wife or his sister.
Linda is his wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so
The
this
way the
is like
book's
a
going,
very-
I would kind of hope so. But, you know, Dan, like, I want to get you.
Just pick it up and read it.
Yeah, just grab it.
It's good.
But yeah, there's like 6 trades.
Grab
in
it, choke it.
You want? It's want to bop it. Oh my god. But yeah, I think.
All right, now it's a big panels episode.
Yeah, this work is gorgeous, and it's not really smutty because it's too nice to be smutty, which is funny for the subject matter because it's
Borderline.
BDSM related, but it is gorgeous. It is just like a good wholesome book about like healthy relationships, and it's funny and it's hot because Sedgwick makes everything hot. Like
Facts.
yeah, so if you read Batwoman and you're like, I want this but hornier, this is the book. This is the book.
I didn't have that.
You
feeling
heard it
until
here
now,
first.
but now
That
I
woman
do.
but hornier.
Oh, I'm sorry. I look at a redhead and I go, ooh. So like, it's natural. There's a redhead in this too, so it's okay. You still get that.
I have not read the book, but I have heard of it.
I read it. They actually put out the first volume for free in like PDF form at one point, just randomly. They're like,
They
everybody
did.
should read this. Here you go.
Because it's one of those things where if you just tell someone like, hey, yeah, it's BDSM lesbians, you should check it out. A lot of people will just kind of inherently be like, oh, well, like, I'm not against that, but like, I'm not into any of that stuff. So they won't try it, but it's actually a very beautiful book. Like, so I think doing that makes a lot of sense because then you try it as someone who would never read something with that kind of like synopsis. And it's just actually a very good book.
John?
This is when someone else says something. Yeah.
I'm on in stock trades right now.
I went the different route. I'm on Libby right now and about to download it, so I don't have to.
Yes, support your local
Hey, you
library.
guys, don't waste time. Good.
Yeah.
Listen, no, gotta get into it.
And once you're done with Sunstone, then you can move on to his other book, Mercy. No, Mercy is another book in the Sunstone universe.
Oh.
But there's another book called Fine Print, which is about incubi and succubi, and a woman who is tasked with choosing between a man or a woman, and she's like, well, why not both? And so they now have to fight to see who can please her more. But again, it's still very, very wholesome. There's a lot of like fantasy lore about these like demons and interesting conversations about sexuality and gender and things like that. So stuff in Sajic is where it's at.
I think I only read like Harleen, so now my whole new world's being opened up.
I'm so sad that Ivy series didn't happen. Oh,
He was supposed to do an Ivy series?
Yeah.
it was, yes. And if you look in the back of Harleen,
Just go to his DeviantArt. He basically posted the whole comic.
Yeah, basically.
yeah, like he has like, woo. Yeah,
Oh,
this
nice.
was supposed to happen. We were robbed.
Yeah.
Tessa does like a silver fox.
Me too.
You're under the age of 30, you're too young for me. Yeah. We were
Good
robbed.
thing I'm 31.
Hey, what are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight? And how can it be me? Hey Dan, thanks for inviting me on your show. For
That is exactly what we're here, no?
This really is an Ink Panels episode now.
It is. It is. Damn it.
I messed up my own bookshelf. Oh, damn. Ooh, I love the reds you used.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's gorgeous.
Thanks.
Hey, Gambit, you're pretty good at like the art and stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time.
Are you still
So-
tattooing as much, or are you doing more like regular art now?
Oh no, tattooing is my my main income. I have to tattoo. If I don't tattoo, I go hungry because I love this, but this is a labor of love. This is sadly I'm not at a stage in my career, in my comic book career, that I can say that it will pay the bills. This is just a few extra bucks that I managed to make doing something that I really love doing. But yeah, I still tattoo. In fact, I'm going to be at Spooky Empire in next week, from the 11th to the 13th in Orlando, at the Hyatt in Orlando.
I saw Clive Barker is doing one of his last appearances at the con.
Yeah. Yep.
I haven't heard of this. What is this? I love spooky stuff.
It's a horror con.
It's our convention in Orlando. It happens 2 times a year. Happens in the spring and it happens in October. And it's a horror convention, everything horror, and they have a tattoo area, a room for tattoo artists, and that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be there all weekend tattooing and selling prints and stuff like that. So if you're going to if you're in the Orlando area and you're going to be at Spooky Empire, stop by my table and say hi. I will have art there for sale, and you can just look at it if you just don't want to buy it, you know. But
no, go buy his stuff. God.
Right? No, I mean, I would appreciate it, but what I'm saying is that don't let that stop you from coming and say hi. You know, it's like, well, I'm not gonna go say hi because I have to buy a print. No, you come say hi. If you want to buy a print, nice. If not, it's not an issue.
I really want to go to a horror con, and I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a fun convention. It's a small convention. You know, it's not something that's gonna bring. I don't know. I don't even know how many people they bring in, but it's not as, let's say, like I do Puerto Rico Comic Con every year, and that's like 30,000 people. It's not that big, you know. It's a smaller. It's a smaller.
Well, them doing it twice a year also limits how many people show up.
Yeah.
The guests also really drive who's going to be there. Like Robert Englund's there and stuff. Like
yes, and usually all of the people that are guests are in horror movies, and it's just not big names. You know, they bring people from B movies, you know, independent classics, stuff like that. People that you never thought that, oh my god, these people are still alive. What, you know? How to win the Batwoman print. So you make a donation to Keep Jen Reading. The link it's in the comments
description and in the comments and the chat.
You make a donation. You send me a screenshot. You send it to me or to Dan. We put your name on a list, and next Friday we're gonna draw that name randomly, and that person is going to win a signed print, a Batwoman signed print by me.
And you said it had to be a $10 or higher donation.
$10 or higher donation.
Yeah.
And put in the comments, Keep Jen Reading.
Which I could not figure out.
Put ink panels. Put ink panels.
Or ink panels, yeah. But the important thing is that they send us that, you know, the screenshot that they made the donation in order to enter the raffle.
Has anyone brought up the Poison Ivy run yet? The current one?
I love it.
Nope.
Yeah.
The covers have been fantastic. I just pre-ordered one of the Jenny Friesen ones.
I bought 4 of them this week.
Yeah, I got
that one in 25 may be the best one they've had.
Right? I have that one and I have the
phenomenal.
7 one. They look perfect. Ugh.
Gorgeous.
I got the Jenny Friesen one too because I thought it would be a good one to get her signed. It's got like that nice space.
Yep. There was a nice foil version cover that was really cool.
Oh, the all-in one, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, I spent all my money on Zatanna covers. There's been a lot.
I respect that.
You're just homophobic and you don't want to get the gay book. I get it, Dan. It's okay.
I'm just hoping they go long enough on Poison Ivy to get a good omnibus out of it.
That's right. We're almost there. Like
we really are.
I think by the end of this arc, like you're pretty much sold.
I think so.
Right? Like we just started a new one, so we're golden.
Yeah.
I really wish they still did more of like the deluxe hardcovers. I love these.
I love this.
Make yourself full screen. What are you doing? Oh yeah, gorgeous.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Ooh, Sweeney Boo.
Nice.
Yeah, Zatanna, they know what they're doing by just putting out a bunch of good covers. Both Zatanna and Poison Ivy, honestly. Are you getting every cover?
Almost. They've all been good.
Swaby makes everyone hot as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Dan, I'm not used to seeing your hair like a natural color. That's my favorite one. I love that cover.
I'm always a Tula Lotte.
Yes. Oh, I have a Lotte Ivy right here.
Jesus.
Lotte
I haven't been to my store and in like a month. No, maybe 2 months. Oh my god! Since I went to DragonCon, I'm so behind on my reading.
The Jessica Fong covers have been great.
Yeah, they introduced me to Jessica Fong, and I'm happy for it. Gambit, how is Dragon Con? I want to go there, but I haven't been yet.
Oh, it's insane.
It seems like a party con.
It's a party con. It's okay. So you have an idea. It's a citywide block party. Like it's 5 hotels. There's party going on 24/7.
19 kegs.
The convention.
27 bars.
That's dude. When I say it's a citywide party, it's a citywide block party. It's like there's not you will not walk out in Atlanta, anywhere in Atlanta, without being into anything that's everything is Dragon Con during that week. It's supposed to be like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but people arrive at the convention like Monday. Like, I mean, I was there on Tuesday. I got there
Atlanta,
on Tuesday.
and
So
yeah,
it's in Atlanta, and it takes the Hyatt, the Marriott, I forgot the name of the
Sounds like
Hilton.
Carnival or something.
Dude, it's geared for adults. You know, now you have there was a period of time
Well,
where they
not
have
taking my kids to that one, I guess.
no.
Thanks, cancel that
You definitely aren't taking the
Listen.
kids to that because there's definitely an orgy fest.
Listen, no. You can.
So
You
Greg and
can.
I'll just go together.
You can take.
Oh,
you can
no.
take. You
End
can
of the
take
blood
your
rave
kid.
from Blade.
You can,
take
would
your
love
John,
to
kid.
see you guys
your
going
kids
to
can
that.
watch my kids.
There.
You can take your kids, but originally it was geared more towards adults. I heard that this next year is gonna get back to that more adult oriented setting again, which is fun because it's for you to go party and have a good time as an adult, as a nerdy adult, without having to worry that there's gonna be kids around and you have to be behaving.
Were you dressed like a rabbit during one of your parties?
Oh
Where you
yeah,
had
there's
bunny
that.
ears? That's what I thought.
That's the bunny hutch. It happens every
So
year.
many jokes. I'm just struggling right now.
It's a party where you go dress as a sexy bunny and you go and you party dress as a sexy bunny. You get.
Okay, so we're all doing that now, right?
Yeah, of
Everything-
course.
I mean,
do it.
it's on par with a redhead. You got Jessica Rabbit.
Yes,
like,
I
mean,
do
We
it.
could do this for a donation goal.
I
If
do
we can
it
X
every
out,
year.
We'll all dress as sexy. Sorry, we'll all dress as sexy bunnies and go.
John's secondary channel, John's Comics Without Kids.
I'm just
After
I'm just
dark.
booking my flight.
But yeah, it's I mean, and when I say it's adult oriented, nothing weird. Well, a lot of weird shit happens.
You did-
And that's
you
it.
did-
I was
you
gonna
did-
say nothing weird happens, but I will be lying.
Mars is
Alright.
looking at flights now.
Because it's
Canceling my
wild.
flight.
It's wild. It's a wild party. It's a wild party.
Booking my flight again.
I
Make up your mind, damn it.
I do it, dude. I do it every year. I've been doing it since 2015. When okay, so my wedding 9 years ago, we had 3 different ceremonies: one in Puerto Rico, one at Dragon Con, and the official one in December. That one that was in Dragon Con was like a flash mob dance type of thing, but it was a flash mob wedding. It's like, okay, we're gonna meet at this hour in this floor of this hotel, and this is the person that's going to officiate the wedding. This is the person that's going to be doing this. She's gonna walk down here. You're gonna wait for her here, and it was like that. And George
Okay, Gambit
Perez
does
was
have a
there.
party.
Who
Gambit
gave
does
your wife
have a
away
party
again?
here.
Who gave your wife away?
He was the ring bearer. George Perez was the ring bearer for that wedding. That's how I met him that year. But yeah, to
No. Wait, you did not know him, and then that's how you met him?
yes.
Don't just say yes. That's a straight.
Okay, so this is
That's a baller move. Not
So-
only did he have George Perez as his ring bearer, the game was like, yes, I don't need to explain anymore because that's a boss move. It's
How I met
like,
him? Like,
Okay, so long story short, my ex-wife now, because we
Nobody
divorced
wants
in
it short.
May.
Nobody.
yeah, I was gonna say, please, all the juicy details.
There it is.
So my ex-wife was a character in his last book, Sirens, and when she moved to Puerto Rico with me, one day we were talking, and I was talking to her about George and how much I love his work, and I said, "Oh, that's Uncle George." And I looked at her, I said, what? That's Uncle George. And then she went on her phone and she showed me a bunch of pictures. Turns out that she was friends with him. Like she was, I said, oh, you know him? Oh yeah, I'm a character in one of his books. It's like, what? And when we got married and we went to DragonCon, he was there for a wedding, and he was the one who was carrying the rings, and it was an amazing weekend. After that, I got to, meet with him more than a couple more times, of course, and shared.
John just shaking his head. He's just like,
yeah. It was fun. It was the past 9 years, have been really, really, really wild because so before I became a tattoo artist, I wanted to be a comic book artist, but in Puerto Rico at the time, that was almost an impossible dream to achieve, and I knew that I didn't have the drive nor the discipline to be a comic book artist from Puerto Rico. In self-publishing down there was next to impossible. But before I moved there, I published a book that I had for years. I managed to self-publish that. My tattooing career has been beautiful enough that it has let me pursue my comic book career as a side gig, and I've got these past 9 years. It had opened a bunch of doors for me that I never thought that I would have, and I've got to meet a lot of people, and one of those doors was my ex-wife. She was a very well-known cosplayer at the time, and she was the one who introduced me to the DragonCon life, and she introduced me to a bunch of people. And now I'm friends with a bunch of comic book industry artists and writers that in a million years I thought I would ever meet them, and now I'm friends with them because of that. And it's been a wild ride this past 9 years. So that's what you're gonna get as long a story as possible.
I just had my fake nephew as my ring bearer.
What was that?
I just had my nephew as my ring bearer. This sucks.
Just get remarried, yeah. I'm pals with plenty of comic creators, but you understand, George Perez got me into comics. Without that man, I would not be on the show right now. I would not be the job I work. It's my only regret in life is not getting to meet him. That's it.
I wouldn't be man, the screen is super dirty. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't. I wouldn't be doing this. Oh no. Disconnected. There it is. I wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't because of his work. His work got me into comic books.
Same.
No, So I understand that because in fact, I'm actually working on a new book that is going to be like a homage to George Perez, and I can't say much about it, but it's going to be. I already have some character designs, and it's going to be really fun. So this is going to be once I get more information, I'll let you guys know. Once I can say more, I'll let you guys know so you can check it out. But yeah,
much since we started, you used to go, I can't say much, and then say everything and go, oh, I shouldn't say that.
No, but this one I can. This one I really can.
He's grown now. He's beyond us.
Exactly. No, I can't say much, but yeah, here's all the details of what I'm going to be working on next. I can keep my mouth shut, but this one I can. I have to this time. I'll let you guys know as soon as I get something. But yeah, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be doing this. I wouldn't be making this drawing if it wasn't for his work. I think I have there's one almost 2 shelves that is just George Perez books back there. So I get it. I get your sentiment about not being here if it wasn't for his work.
Huge fan growing up of his. He was everything. His Wonder Woman. Him and Jimenez at the beginning, probably my 2 favorite Wonder Woman artists. Although Daniel Sempier right now I really like his art. It's so good that Tessa now owns a piece of art of Daniel Sampier's from Action.
I have that in my office. I guess the only piece of original art I have here is also one from Dan. Yeah, the Booster Gold one. But all my other ones are in my office because that's where I spend all of my time. So I want to look at them there. But that's also the benefit of getting to be friends with a lot of artists. So I'm pals with Martin Simmons, so I have like a Martin Simmons piece by my desk. Becoming friends with like Federici, so I have like a piece of his art by my desk. It's just like getting to be pals with these guys is just like I'm gonna run out of wall room and I'm gonna love every minute of it.
Federici's one I want to get a piece of art from.
His stuff is like I'm pretty sure he charges like way less than you would expect.
But I want a piece of art from my favorite book.
Last God?
Yes.
I need to read that.
My mom actually bought that book. She doesn't. She's
not gonna read it if she buys.
She's never gonna read it. She thinks she will. She won't. But she bought it from PKJ because Philip and I are like pals, and when I saw him, he was like, "You have to bring your parents by." And so she was just like so excited talking to him that she was like,
Such
"How
a
much?"
Humble brag. PKJ and I are just friends now. You know.
Well, I see him pretty often.
I'm joking.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just cute of her just being like, "I'll get this one," and like she would love it. Because like that's all the stuff that she likes, but she's just like not a reader. So I think maybe she'll just be like, yes, pretty book on shelf. It's a nice hardcover, you know.
I'm gonna do something that I rarely ever do. Keep this to an hour and a half. But
hour and a half of just talking about Batwoman, of course.
That was Dan trying to get it back to Batwoman, yeah.
Well, no, so like we always go way too long, and it's a weeknight, so like I don't want to keep everybody.
We don't ever go way too long. We go just.
We did 3 hours one night on Batman the Animated Series, I think, or the Mask of the Phantasm.
You say it like it's a bad thing.
No, it's not. So if I were going to rate this, I'd say I'm at an 8.59 out of 10.
Easy.
On it. I think I'm solid on that.
Yeah, I agree.
I would be higher than that for sure.
Oh.
Yeah,
Spill.
oh, absolutely. I mean, at least a 9 is the baseline.
Yeah.
On this one,
Damn.
like, I might 9.5 this all day.
Nice.
20
I
out
like
of
a
10.
9.2 with white pages.
There you go.
No, that's not it.
Does that have the banana bend?
I've got little devil horns going here. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh.
John with the thumbnails.
That's
Got
so
little
mysterious and
Ooh.
cool.
horns there.
I didn't notice that.
Did not notice
And then
that.
he has
till
the
this-
cutest, sweetest laugh afterwards. Guys, look at the devil.
So innocent.
Greg?
Let's go 9.6. That way it's affordable, but it's still you're still happy with the grade. Like you're still happy with the grade, but
It's a
like
nice-
you're like, all right.
It's a $50 difference.
And it's like more accurate to the grade, but it's also less expensive. So
No loose staple here.
Mars is like
No,
10 gem mint, baby.
20 out of 10. I'm not exaggerating when I say that this is
So good.
probably one of my favorite books of all time. I've read it a million times, and every time I jump back into it, I'm finding new little things about it. So I hate to say it, but this is like a comfort read for me. It's one
why
of
do you
those
hate
books.
to say it?
Yeah,
Because I
wait.
mean,
Don't hate to say it.
to be
have
fair,
plenty of-
I mean, to be fair, it's
fair.
very there's a lot of traumatic moments in this, and it does make me cry like 4 different times. But it's one of those books where, like Gambit was talking about it earlier, where it's like I've been struggling to read, and I sat down with this last night thinking, oh, I'm gonna like halfway through it and then bullshit it because again I've read it a million times. But I sat down and I finished it in one sitting, and it made me remember why I love comics as much as I do. So 20 out of 10. A bajillion dollars. You can't afford it.
It's the original art piece.
You don't
foil
keep, but also
cover.
you can't afford it.
You can't afford it.
Gambit?
Yeah, I same. I would say I would give it a solid 9. Like I said earlier, I haven't been able to read, and I read this thing. It's interesting because now that I think about it, I read this thing in one sitting today while we were watching Scream at the studio.
My comfort movie.
Live her
So-
alone.
So we watch the new Salem Slot and Scream
Oh, I
back
gotta
to
watch
back
that.
today in the
What
studio.
was that? I haven't seen the new one.
It was actually I didn't finish watching it because a customer walked in and I had to work. Stupid work.
Damn it.
But when I was not working, I was reading this thing while I was watching the TV, watching a movie that was, getting my attention, and I was able to read this thing in one setting. So that alone for me makes it an amazing book. The fact that it managed to keep me reading, even though I had these many distractions around me, and yeah,
like multiple senses. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The studio's wild. We have the TV going on in one room. We have the radio in the other, and we have another radio in the inside, and the door making the noise.
Sexy bunny party in the other room.
No,
this tattoo job is bonkers.
That's only a dragon. That's only.
Bearded, that's the funniest thing you've ever said. I just want you to know you probably won't top that. That was really good.
Listen, I have my moments, and I know, and it's there.
You don't have many.
You should have just like logged out and be like, I'm good.
That was good.
I don't need them. I don't need many.
But yeah. So I give this book a solid 9, not just because it got me to read it in one sitting. It's a really beautiful book. It's a really well written book. It flows really nice. Like these pages, this lettering, these colors, everything in this book. It's one of those things that you put together the perfect team to work on this amazingly cool character, and it's very fleshed out. Even though it's just 7 issues or something like that, you have a full story. You don't miss anything. You don't feel like the only thing that I say at the end was that they have her talking with this with her cousin, and her cousin has a costume on, and I have no idea who that character is at the end. But
your book went further.
Yeah.
Yours has 4 different.
Yours has the
4 issues.
Docra.
Oh, because this one has the jug pages. Yeah. Okay. So my bad. So that doesn't matter right now. But yeah, the books by the issues by William and Rucka are, like I said, excellent, and writing, storytelling, art, lettering, everything put together, and it made the perfect book.
So Gambit, I'm sorry if this is something that went over before I got here, but like, was there anything specific you took away from this as an artist?
Oh yes, I mean everything.
I feel like it's amazing, and like I feel like his art has only grown since then, obviously, because that's over a decade ago at this point.
So one of the things that I did not know about how he worked is that his pages are in black and gray. His pages are in like this, in
grayscale.
And then which is something that I oh shit.
You want to show that again?
Like Prison.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then the colorist comes in and put the colors, and his value, his understanding of light and shadow and values, and how the grays of red are not the same grays of black, and are not the same grays that would represent skin, are masterful. And when you put color over it, it makes this beautiful thing. So he's not only that, he's the way he uses his panels, the way he designs his pages, as you can read 3 years of story in 2 pages. The way he puts his panel, like there's a 2-page spread that tells you that she went and kicked the ass of 4 different mobsters, finding a name. You know, it's like, you know my name, you know, now tell me hers. And she's kicking ass and literally taking names in just 2 pages, but it tells you a whole, you know, thing, not just this moment. It tells you this. I'm having a problem with words right now, so I apologize.
Picking up what you're putting down, yeah.
So no,
this is not an eloquent stream.
Right.
I'm just chilling.
So it the fact that he can tell me, he can give me a story with 2 pages and tell me a period of, like, let's say a year, 2 years in just a few pages. It's insane, and only shows how masterful his storytelling is, and how he controls these pages, these panels, to tell a story the way he wants to, you know, tell it. Because yes, the writer writes this thing, and the artist takes cues from what the writer tells him and describes, but at the end of the day, it is a very visual medium what we have in our hands, you know. And the way he is helping carry this story and carry these words and carry all of it in it's amazing. That's the only word that, yeah. So as an artist, yeah, it's how to break these panels and how to tell a story that you can read and follow without the need of actually reading. Because if you take all the lettering away, you can follow some of these pages no problem, without the need of reading the dialogues. Obviously, the dialogue and everything else makes it a more richer story. But his storytelling is so good and so unique. That's the word I was looking for earlier. How he tells this he illustrates these pages in such a unique way and such a fantastic. It's like fantasy, like Sandman. It reminds me. We talked about Sandman earlier and how it gives you this fantastic fantasy.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't J.H. Williams work on Sandman for a time?
Nocturne.
Yes. You know, which fits perfect. You know.
So that would actually be another. We were talking about recommendations for books.
That's true.
Sandman would be another one that I would recommend because it carries the same vibe. This like gothic fantasy. That's the word that we're looking for. It's a very gothic fantasy, gothic urban fantasy book.
And it's interesting because you would think that this art style would work better with a fantasy setting and a fantasy story, and not a superhero story. And here we have this greedy character and this street level character, you know, being told her story in a very fantastic and magical way, and it works somehow. It works.
His ability to change art styles 4 times.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Especially the meet cute between the ball with her and Maggie doing their meet cute.
Oh my God, yes.
I love that scene where they're both wearing tuxedos and they find each other.
I wanted to talk about that earlier and I totally forgot about it. One of the things that I loved the most was that scene when they're at that gala and they meet and they have a dance and they're having this beautiful conversation. And it's these pages and you have some musical notes going on around the page.
Such
And I am 100% sure that you can if you are a musician, you can read that and you'll be able to play that. And I'm very curious to see if that is correct. And the reason I am 100% sure, okay, I'm going to say 99.9% because
you're committed.
Stick with it.
Okay, so committed. One of the reasons I think I think it's that way is the Cthulhu Invades fairy tale story that I did the other day. It's about the Pied Piper. Let me look for that page so that you guys can see it because I can show it. That one I have no problem showing it. Okay, so
on your iPad.
Yes, show this page when you have a chance. I did something similar to that. So if you are a musician, this is a flute arrangement for a composition called the Pied Piper. Part of it is called the Spell, and there's another page here that I did the same thing. This one, I did it on purpose, you know, so that if you and this is the cover that I worked with the late Carmolin. He passed away recently. That's the cover that he did, and I did some touch-ups for it. So
we're being asked to show the pages with the music.
Because I bet Carrie can figure it out. Show that page again.
Yes.
Okay. No, the Batwoman one.
Okay, no, the Batwoman one.
I think Carrie's going to investigate for us.
Yes, that would be cool. So when I was I'm looking for them here right now. When I was reading this, I said, man, I'm pretty sure this is the same thing that I did, and I think it's really cool. You know, that
they're just copying you.
No. It's more that ideas, you know, that more than one person can have the same idea at different moments, at times, you know. And it's not the first time that I'm like, this is a brilliant idea. This is the thing, and then I stumbled upon something similar. So it wouldn't surprise me that at some point I saw those pages and it was just in the back of my head, you know, just
subconsciously invaded.
Yeah, just there. And when I make these pages, you know what would be cool if we do this thing. So I'm very curious if those pages in that when they're dancing and that music that's in the background, if it's actually some music sheet and we can actually listen to those pages, it would be really cool if that's the case.
Let us know in the comments if you figure it out.
I was gonna look it up and I totally forgot because I got here and I needed to cook and I needed to get ready. But
Wait, J.H. Williams related to John Williams?
have staff there with time signature and
Yes,
all that. Someone can
yes.
play
I mean,
it.
it's
my guitar. Not gonna try that.
I know for sure that the pages, I know for sure that the pages that I did, I did. It's an arrangement that I found online. It's not that I didn't make that. Let me clarify. I did not write that composition, and I did not came with that up from my head. That's music that I found, and I used it. You know, but I use it with that intention that if you're a musician and you're reading the book and you go like, oh, I wonder, and go and try to play it, and you'll be able to at least play some of it or a little bit part of it, not the whole thing. So I am assuming that is the same thing that happened in those pages, which I think it's amazing, and it's just really cool to think to know that I thought about this thing and it was done by someone that is really good at what he does, and like similar way of thinking about in this type of page. In fact, the pages kind of not look similar, but they have sort of a similar composition where the notes kind of follow what's happening, so you can follow the music where they are in that part of the conversation. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering if that's the case. I'm gonna look it up. I need to look it up, and now I'm just repeating myself. So
so we've hit the hour-and-a-half mark. I
was just gonna wait to see how long Gambit would keep going so we could do it. Dan's like, we're gonna wrap it up to an hour and a half. I'm like, Mars asking a question, and I'm just like, let's keep it going. Let's just see what we can get.
So tonight was all about our love of our friend Jennifer, and trying to help her out. Jen, you mean the world to me and us, because we wouldn't be here otherwise if we weren't here to support you. And
I think you're okay.
Gather.
I would be minus, yeah.
And I would not have read Batwoman.
Don't say it like that. You're a Batman fan. You would read Batwoman.
Anybody who has to be Jen's next co-host, we are basically the Scott Pilgrim line of former co-hosts.
We are the six
some evil, maybe some not.
The six evil ex co-hosts.
5 evil. You can choose who the non-evil one is. Yeah.
Dan, show the print again so that remember that if you guys make a donation of $10, send us the screenshot of the donation to Dan or to me. We're gonna put you guys into a raffle
randomizer on Friday.
Yes, this is just a sketch. It's gonna look. I'm gonna clean it up and I'm gonna have it ready for Friday so that you get that nice print.
I love how this turned into a negative space like thing. This is awesome.
Thank you. So yeah, this is the print. I'm gonna clean it up later this week, and the next Friday we're gonna choose a winner. So make a donation of at least $10. Send us a screenshot to help Jen keep reading. Let's keep Jen reading, please. So,
and if you can't donate, share the link. Somebody can share that we're having a contest that you can win something.
Yes.
And little housekeeping. Probably we're going to be on my channel, Carlito, if I can dig him out of mothballs. We'll be doing Halloween Horror Month. Don't know how many episodes we'll be doing. He's kind of become an elusive ghost lately. John, what you got going on besides doing stunts for money?
Stunts for money, all right.
At least it's not
it's yeah. I mean, it could be. Let's just keep it. So no, Saturday is Comics Curing Cancer. I'm doing a C3 live stream for 2 hours, and I've got a giveaway just for people that donate for Jen. So that'll be a part of the whole process. You can get on that wheel. I think I've got 4 or 5 people already on the wheel, so the odds to win that one are very, very, very high. But then I've got a ton of things to give away. I've got Neil Adams Batman stuff. I got early Claremont X-Men stuff. I got 9/8 slabs. I got original art pieces. I'm giving away all kinds of stuff. It's going to be fun, and it'll all just be everybody who's donating to help fight cancer. And then apparently Perry will think about going live, and I'll
2 hours.
He thinks that he's going to go live in a minute, right?
That's actually why we're not going long tonight. Yeah,
Perry's going to keep him in line. Okay.
Never.
Oh my God.
Greg, I know you just had an interview you uploaded.
Yeah, Wednesday. So every Wednesday I do interviews, or I post my interviews every Wednesday. So I suck at this. I don't know what's on deck.
Oh my God. Okay, Bearded, don't listen to me for a second. There is literally no one as consistent and hardworking as far as a comic creator goes, or a content comic creator goes, than Bearded. It's like constant, and the people he gets on are like crazy. Like, obviously, you know, we love the smaller creators too, but it's just like, God damn, dude. Like, you got like Patton Oswalt, you got like stars on. It's crazy. But yeah, it's just I wish I had your kind of consistency. You were so hardworking and dedicated. And you have a family and stuff. I don't know how you do it.
He has kids.
I don't have kids, but I can't keep up with anything. I feel like I'm drowning, and I am me.
What, Tessa, we've interviewed twice in the past 2 years, and like that's it.
I've had like 2 on my own, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think I just don't really do interviewing, so I want to just be friends with everyone, but like I want to put out more videos, and then I look at you and you're just like bam, 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 like gosh, okay.
It's why I do them all pre-recorded, because I couldn't do it. If it was on a weekly, if I had to do it live, I couldn't. I can never do it live.
I keep saying I'm going to do more like edited stuff, and then I start editing. I was like, this is why Gambit and I started going live. Because I didn't have to do this. Sitting in my living room with the Canon going, and every half hour having to make sure I stop so before it shut off. Oh, it was miserable. And then the girl I was dating at the time goes, why don't you Photoshop with your green screen a different couch every week in the background? I was like, all right, chuckles. Like,
you know what I remember about those first few episodes was that one of them we just got carried away, and we kept talking for like an hour. And when suddenly he realized that
off,
that the camera has stopped recording like at a 30-minute mark, and it's like, what?
Oh no! When Stephanie Hans watched our die video and commented on it, I was like, I just talked about my horrible history with making mixtapes for women. Oh God! I was just like, well, that's the first time I put my foot in my mouth in a video, not the last.
Yeah.
Do it on the daily, so it's fine. You're fine, man. It's
part of your charm. It's fine.
That was before I was drinking during them too. Morris, this is your first video post hiatus.
It is. Is this you asking me what I have planned? Because I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea.
Now you scared her away. She came out of her hiatus for this, and she was like, you know what? Never mind.
It's asking the community to reach out to Mars to make sure she's appearing on as many streams as possible.
I'm gonna be honest. I have ideas for videos that I want to do, but sometimes it's a lot. It's the creative process is a lot, and I'm slowly coming out of it. So I don't want to scare myself too much. So this is basically me saying, please invite me to be on your podcast so I can talk about fun things, because honestly, I think that's going to be the best way for me to get my foot back in.
This was foot in the pool day.
This is my foot in the pool day. I'm not going to lie when I say that I have not read comics consistently for about 2 years. I have read a couple series here and there. You know, I've read a couple of trades. I've tried to go back to the books that I love and try to remember the reason why I love comics. But please invite me on your podcast. Give me a reason to talk about comics. Give me a reason to talk about indie comics, or why I hate Brian Azzarello, or just give me a reason to talk about comics in general. Like, let's set some up. I'm always open.
Yeah, Mars and I are going to do like an X-Men Hot or Not game or something. So everyone should go follow That Comic Girl on Instagram so that you know.
Oh my gosh, that's the greatest news I've heard in.
All right. I gotta.
Are we gonna just live
stream together? Just end the stream now. We can't get better than this. Just end.
So I'm gonna reveal something that I told Tessa, because me and Tessa finally met in person for the first time at Baltimore Comic-Con. Yeah,
we're lovers now. Actually, yeah,
we're lovers now. Sucks for my fiance, but whatever. It's cool. He'll get over it. He'll
got time for both of us. It's fine.
But I revealed to Tessa that there may or may not still be video footage of me somewhere. When I was still living at my previous place, I attempted to do a Hot or Not X-Men ranking while drunk. Where basically every time that I said I wanted a woman to step on me, I'd have to take a shot. I did not last very long. That footage is around somewhere. Maybe it'll make its way to the internet again.
Do you remember Drunk F Mary Kill? Do you remember Drunk F Mary Kill we did?
I do.
Digley.
So I don't remember it, but there's video footage, so I can remember it.
It's the Christmas episode.
Oh, it was my. I don't forget the Christmas. Oh, I love the Christmas episode. I missed the Christmas episode, but yeah. Anyway, please invite me on your podcast, drunk or otherwise.
It's 5 hours. It was a 5-hour show.
Wow.
5 hours. Nat might have come on high wrapping presents for her kids.
I mean, that's how you do it.
She's just sitting there and she's like, Yoda paper? I don't know.
I was gonna say that's not the first time I've seen her do exactly that.
Hey, I'm wrapping my kids' presents wrong.
So am I, because I don't have kids, so I don't really know what I'm doing.
Nah.
I just throw catnip at my cat and be like, enjoy.
Mine is 24. I just call him and say, I just transfer you some money. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
Gambit, you've told us everything you've got coming up.
Oh yeah, right. So yeah,
No,
all of that.
You can't tell us. So
no, I can't tell you. There's things that I can tell you, but yeah, I have the Spooky Empire next week. I have some books coming up. I have the drawing that I'm doing now for this raffle, and I am going to. I at the beginning of this year I had this art show on Tuesdays. I'm planning on bringing that back again, probably by November, after the convention and things settle down and I have a little bit more mental headspace to do it again. So yeah, that's all I have for now.
Cooking with Gambit on Instagram.
Cooking with Gambit, man. I'm gonna have to do that because I said that jokingly, and so many people keep asking me about it. So I'm gonna have to do it. So I guess that's gonna happen, goal. Right? That's gonna happen again. I guess soon. Yeah. So
that could be a donation goal, you know. We hit X amount of dollars, and we get.
There you go, bam.
Show, you know?
Yes. What is can you see where is it right now? If we get to let's set up a goal. Let's set it up, and when we set up that goal and we reach that goal, I'll do that. Cooking naked. It's gonna be Cooking Naked with Gambit. That's the name of the show.
I'm so scared of things near your bits.
I'm not really going to.
The name of the show.
Completely different than my cooking show was.
So that's how the joke. That's how the joke started on my Facebook page. You know that I was going to do a Cooking Naked show when I started cooking regularly, and people just keep asking for it. It's like I was not being.
Well, to be fair, you were posting a picture of you shirtless with your bird on your shoulder.
But that's.
Why are you doing this for free? Start at OnlyFans. Make that money. What are you doing?
Also, I don't have a bird anymore, so.
Oh.
You can still. That's not where the money making aspect of this was. I hate to break it to you.
Okay, so Tessa, give me a call and let's start planning this because I might need someone to help me with this. I don't know how to run a business.
Tessa, give me a call and talk about yourself naked in the same sentence. Like there's separation there.
No, I'm talking about business. I'm talking about business.
Business, dude.
Yes, yeah. not about the cooking naked. Look at me.
Get your business socks on, so you're all good.
Tessa and I might randomly do a show at some point, like we normally do. Like, hey, it's been a while. It's Friday the 13th. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's my Christmas party. Why don't you come here and do a show and go to my Christmas
The next Friday the 13th is in December, so let's plan for that.
Cooking Naked show. All right. I don't want to do that.
So when we get to
$1 million.
No.
They'll do bacon.
No, let's make it easy.
Get them bacon kisses. That's what the Greek spot is called. Bacon kisses.
When he gets to I don't know.
Welcome back, Mars.
What's the goal? What's the goal? Like 25,000, right? The goal is like 25,000.
This is a comics show.
Like something like that. I don't know whose idea was to invite me to this thing again.
Actually, no one invited you. You just broke your way in.
I just showed up. Yeah, I just showed up. I just like, hey, I'm here.
Game is like,
you're the only one of us definitively raising
Dragon Con stream. No.
Yeah, it's the Dragon Con.
Dragon Con stream.
Find us at Dragon Con next year. We'll have our own party.
Yeah. I should have a table next year at Dragon Con. So yeah, find me there.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully.
John will call and leave messages as the guy from Basic.
I'll get my devil horns back on right here.
Cameo videos. I don't know what you're talking about. I called you.
Daily Beat says that they have 20 short boxes that they haven't
read.
Yeah, so I have
reading.
You want to know how far back I am on my reading? The last issue of X-Men that I read was the second Hellfire Gala.
Dude, just skip and go to where we are now.
No, I started reading the New Uncanny. Yeah, I started reading the New Uncanny.
I'm not liking a lot of the new stuff.
Yeah, I like the
There's
Uncanny.
so many. I like some of them.
Yeah, same. I like X-Men Uncanny, and I like
I like NYX. I like X Factor, but
I like X Factor. Yes,
I'm like an X Factor.
Yes, I like X Factor more than I thought I was gonna like. More than I thought I was gonna like, honestly.
Form was amazing. I really like that one a lot.
Haven't read that one yet.
I'm waiting to read it. I did read Absolute Batman. I got an advance of it.
Look at you.
I like Nick Dragotta's art.
You know.
Their take on Alfred Pennyworth was interesting, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
I read some at San Diego Comic-Con. I remember I really liked it, but I just do not remember it now.
And then Absolute Power, I read the last issue, and meh.
I'm excited for the Justice League stuff coming out, but yeah, I thought it was fine, you know.
It's adequate, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
But I'm excited for the Justice League stuff. There's a lot of Booster Gold stuff happening. Big here for that.
I'm here for the Beetle.
Oh, my love.
Need to be more Blue Beetle. The Ted Cord Blue Beetle. I mean, the other Blue Beetle's fine.
No.
Yeah.
No, Blue Beetle.
So the Absolute Batman is good. Then it's worth the reading.
I liked it. It's a little overhyped because everybody's falling over themselves. But I love Nick Dragotta on East of West. So his take on Batman, he's very burly.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I've seen some drawings, and he looks like really big. It's like
I saw someone in the chat saying that their arms were as big as Absolute Batman's, and that made me laugh.
I can't wait for Absolute Wonder Woman because I love Hayden Sherman.
I'm very excited for that.
Bumpkins knows the crowd. All right.
I mean, Hayden Sherman on the art is not like Kelly Thompson, obviously, but Hayden Sherman on the art, like
can't lose ever.
Yeah, because Hayden Sherman has done so many other not superhero books. So I'm excited to see him on his Wonder Woman having that gigantic Cloud Strife Final Fantasy VII sword is
I just like
so
the idea of a
interesting to me.
witchy Wonder Woman. Give that to me. Inject it into my veins.
All right.
It was good.
I'm gonna read it.
You disagree with Dan's takes all the time. Dan and you have opposite takes on things a lot. Neither of you are wrong. You just have different tastes. That's fine.
Yeah.
Dan does not believe in liking anything that's hyped up. And as soon as anyone's like, "This is so cool," he's like, "Meh."
Is it though?
He's like a cat.
You sure about that?
Are you quoting my cat?
Meh.
Oh, this is so good. Are you sure about that?
That was your favorite thing. My cat walks up to her, instead of meowing, he's just like, meh.
Meh.
He's still my beating heart. I love that little man.
So thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you, panel, for coming on and supporting Jennifer and talking about a great book that some of you found for the first time.
Yes.
I love that we're able to do something for Jen. I wish I could do more than I can at the moment, but I'm doing what is possible.
What we can. That's all. That's all that is asked for.
Dude, spreading the word is half the battle, man.
And also remember to make sure if you donate to send the screenshot to myself or Gambit. And Friday afternoon we will send them and do the whole randomizer.
Friday, tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, next Friday. We want to give it some time.
Yeah. So we want to give it some time for people who watch the repeat and give chance for others to share it and spread the word. So we do that. Is that a Swamp thing?
It is.
Nice.
Swampy's been hanging out on the shelf because, we got to.
Yeah. Mars, thank you for joining us. I randomly messaged you because I was like, I don't know if she's gonna do this. I haven't seen her on the webs.
No, thank you. It was a great thing to have me back.
Very out of the blue, I know.
Yes.
It was like the perfect storm, perfect people, perfect book, perfect cause.
Well, I do like you're like, well, of course Tessa's gonna be. I was like, I think Tessa's busy with her Swamp Thing show, and on her Instagram went down. She's like, sent me a voice message. She goes, "Oh fuck yeah, bro! I'm gonna."
Yeah, I saw it late because my stupid account got hacked. But yeah, it was just like, yeah, dude, cool. I'll move stuff around. So I've been on live constantly since today.
I'm in my break room at work, and I like played it, and I forgot I had the volume up, and they're here, fuck yeah, and I'm like. And Amanda from work goes, "Is that Tessa?" I was like, yeah. She's like, "Is she live right now?" And I was like, "No, it's just recording." She's like, "Oh, well, yeah. Tell her I said hi next time you talk to her." I was like, "Okay."
I've been live.
I was like, "How do your people?" I'm like, "Oh wait, no, you know your work people." So.
But thank you for having me on. It was fun.
Yeah, what's this? 2 times out of 3 weeks now. Gotta stop doing this. I've done too many this month. But no, it had been months since the last time I did it because I had surgery and was down for quite a while.
Really selfish of you to have surgery, Dan. Like, rethink
I know.
that. Please.
Those damn tumors.
Ugh, so selfish.
Terrible. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to do something with that. Bradford was happy to get me out of the house.
Like, finally. Cramping my style.
He literally was like right behind me, swatting the back of my foot as I was leaving for work. Like,
get out of my place,
right, bitch. Get out. It's my couch. Yeah. Better left some catnip and some snacks, bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
It's my motto in life. So,
yep.
Well, he bonded with Tessa, and he was like, "Well, I got to give him shit from now on."
He's my little buddy, guys. He's my best friend.
So, thank you, everybody, and make sure to give to Jen, share. Jen, we love you, and hi, Jen's mom, if you're still on here watching. Take good care of our girl. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.